When I first started, I came to the Ramblers to look at how they could work with communities and how they could engage hard-to-reach communities. The piece of research we had undertaken last year was by Dr. David Todd, based in Aberystwyth University, was to look at what makes community walking sustainable. Ramblers are ideal to look at. We're 75 years old and we're still going strong. All the activity is still continuing and our walking isn't dropping off. So what Dr. David Todd did was he underwent a literature review to look at all the interventions that were being put forward throughout not just Wales but England as well, and found there wasn't a lot of sustainability built within the interventions. And what was happening, more and more money was being thrown at communities to get people walking, which is what happened. People walked, the intervention came to an end, then what? He did a lot of telephone interviews with stakeholders, so people within WAG, with walk coordinators, with local people, with group leaders, with various organisations, to get some feedback as to their views on what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And he also held focus groups, of which I was part of, where people were able to open up. Interestingly, what he also did was not just speak to people who were interested in walking, engaged in walking, or had some sort of stakeholdership in walking. He spoke to non-walkers as well to get their views. This document is really, really easy to read, and it's very, very interesting. And in fact, the lessons that were learnt in this document are echoed in the COF, which is why I think COF has done so well, and which is why some of our outreach work that we're doing through a Let's Walk Cymru funded project is working. And I'll tell you why that does work. He came up with some sustainability options. It's very important that you empower groups. Groups take ownership. And again, this is the ethos of the COF project. They have to own it and develop it and want it and claim it. And you also then, as a sort of parent, have to allow that to happen. And that can be quite scary if you're a coordinator or a community development officer to not want to say, well, actually I know this way is better. People have to make mistakes because that's how they learn. Another option was to target existing like-minded groups. That's very important. Going into community, just trying to get anyone and everyone together to go for a walk, doesn't always work. Some of the reasons people walk are for social reasons. They share common goals, or they share common aims, or they're the same sort of problems. So an example would be we work with Turning Point. It's an organisation that adults have gone through drugs, alcohol dependency. When we take them out along the Pembrokeshire coast or at Pen y Fan, and they're feeling good and fantastic, they're also counselling each other, which is really great, it's really important. We've just spotted something there that we think could be developed and should be developed. And that is very exciting. We have a consultant out now who's working with Turning Point, and he's now trained up the beneficiaries, the service users, to deliver walks themselves. So that is fantastic. So we're actually starting to develop a history and a story of what could happen. And also linking with other organisations is very important. When we talk about sustainability and equipment may be needed, we may need to be able to move forward in other directions and other ways. Linking up with CVSs, other organisations that are interested in walking, makes it a better experience, helps it work. It's important that the people that get together and walk together have some sort of relationship going on for that to be able to develop and move forward. She was determined to get to the top of Pen y Fan. She got to the top and she said, I can't believe I can get a high without taking drugs. For me, that just made my year. That's all I needed to hear. And that is so powerful. You can have all the stats in the world, but when somebody says that and you can change someone's life, that is what it's about. This is when we got to the bottom of Pen y Fan. Woohoo, we felt fantastic. I was working with Turning Point, for example. In order for the activity to become sustainable there, they told me, well, actually we can't walk around our local area. That's where we did our drugs and alcohol. Really not good for us. We need wow factor. When we've got the wow factor, what this group started to say was, we want to see more of Wales. They've never been at Pen y Fan. They're only internationally, never been at Pen y Fan. I want to see what's in the north. I want to see what's in the mid. So that is really just a starting point. We're now trying to embed this ethos within the organisation. Thank you.